Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Nightmare Run, I guess? Nightmare Run of Doom 1. This is episode 2. I'm going to be doing all of the maps. Now, as you can see, I'm saving at the beginning of each map. As you can see, I picked Nightmare, of course. Now, I will say I don't use save states in the levels themselves. I use save states at the beginning of each map. So I don't do this all in one run technically. You'll see a few speed runs. Zero Master does these speed runs on his YouTube channel if you want to go check him out. I'll put a link in the description of his channel and any other channels I come across that do speed runs. Another really good Doom channel is Decino. It is spelled D-E-C-I-N-O. He's a really great YouTuber as well that does a lot of cool Doom things and challenges. And then, of course, there's always Ultima Mantoid, and of course, Big Mac Davis. So if you don't know those channels, I'll post links to their descriptions, or whatever. I'll post links in the descriptions. You get the idea. Anyways, this is a Nightmare run of the first map in episode 2, and this is the commentary edition, so hopefully I can explain everything to you guys on the thought process behind these maps. I will also try my best to iterate how many times it took to attempt this map. This map actually only took me one attempt. Most of the time you're going to see me make a lot of rookie mistakes because it is my first time doing Nightmare on any of these maps. The only map I did Nightmare on was the first map in Doom 1, and the reason being, in episode 1 of Doom 1, and the reason I did Nightmare on that map was because I wanted to see what Nightmare was like, and also because there's an achievement on the Xbox achievements to where you complete a map on Nightmare mode. So, that's the only map I've actually ever done Nightmare on. Every other map I've only done Ultraviolence or less. So, I forgot the blue key, and I actually had to run all the way back, and I cannot tell you how terrifyingly heart-pumping this was, just due to the fact that you saw all the gunners in that other room. It's just insane. But if you guys didn't see my first video, I'll also post a link to the first video. Sorry for the sound quality in the first video. I had forgotten to plug my webcam mic in, and thus you were left with my super cheap speaker the computer was built with. This computer is a piece of junk, but it does its job. It was basically 200 bucks. Hopefully I'll get a better computer down the road so I can upload videos more often. In fact, the reason you don't see me upload super often is partially because this computer is very slow and it does not have good Giga RAM. So Giga RAM is how fast the computer processes information and outputs it. And this computer takes a piece of cake and takes a year to eat it, essentially, whereas most computers will take an entire cake and eat it in a minute. So, if that is an analogy. Look how fast this Cacademon's attacking me. For those of you that didn't watch the first video of the Nightmare run, on Nightmare, demons, they attack twice as fast. You get twice the ammo pickups, and the enemies will respawn after 30 seconds, I believe. So, Nightmare is insane for that reason alone. But yeah, I will do another run of episode 2 on Nightmare. It will be a lot more polished and professional. This is more of just a rough draft, just like the other one, and episode 3 as well. Episode 3 is probably my most successful Nightmare run because by the time I got to episode 3, which I will also be uploading really soon, I knew exactly what I was doing and I knew what I was getting myself in for the most part. I didn't know the map layout completely, but I knew it enough to know how to beat the level fast. On episode 2, I get lost a few times and I try too hard to play it safe when really I should just be trying to rush through and take damage. So I go down this way because it has the blue key, and of course on a Nightmare run I decide to get crushed by that closing ceiling. Thankfully a few imps are taken care of by these closing ceilings as well, so I'm not the only one that had to face it. Once again in this episode, knowing the map secrets will help you substantially, and I make a few foolish decisions to skip certain weapons, such as the chain gun, which is the most essential weapon in speedrunning. That, of course, next to the plasma auto rifle. And then the shotgun's good for every situation, no matter what. But the chain gun helps you significantly in mowing down a lot of small enemies, and Doom 1 is known for having a lot of small enemies. Map 2 is actually, while it is one of the bigger maps in the Ultimate Doom, it's a quick map if you know where you're going and what you're doing. Here I am getting a little bit lost, but now that you have the red key, or now that we have the red key, I should say, you can actually exit the map right now. We just have to run to this exit, flip this door open, take care of that imp, flip the switch, and then we are basically out of here, and with a lot of health and armor too. You have to be really good at dodging as well, because if you're not, then you are going to have a rough day with the imps. As for the pinkies, keep your distance, because whereas you normally would be able to corner them and like take care of them with the shotgun by pushing them back with the force and spread of the shotgun, in Nightmare they attack too fast for you to be able to do that. I got barely any of the percentages, but all that matters is that we get through the map without dying. I actually beat map 2 on first attempt as well. I beat this map on first attempt as well. I beat a lot of the maps on first attempt. I'll let you know if I did not beat the map on first attempt, of course. But yeah, most of these maps were beaten on first attempt. Due to the lack of gunners in these maps, it's more Imps and Pinkies and Barons of Hell and so forth, which are ironically more easy than the gunners because they don't have direct hit scans, and so it's actually an easier time navigating through these maps because you don't get attacked as much. And of course, he also introduced Lost Souls, which are the most hated enemy in Doom history and probably will remain that way forever. Unless they can make the Lost Souls a little more fun to kill, for example. But yeah, on this map, being first attempt of this map, I just kind of went with what was off the top of my head. Of course, there's a Pinky down there stopping me, so I try to go around and kill them with the plasma auto rifle because I hate Pinkies with a passion in Doom 1. The super shotgun makes them easy work in the next Doom, but for this one, the super shotgun is not an option. I think it'd be cool if there was a mod out there where you could have the super shotgun on the Ultimate Doom. I think that'd be a really fun twist on the game. But although it would probably make this game a little too easy in all honesty. In this area I was nervous because not only are there a lot of gunners, but there are a lot of Lost Souls. And Lost Souls are not only kind of difficult to kill, but they also do a lot of damage. So you gotta be really careful on those ones. I wanted to get the invisibility for this next part, this maze right here, so that the Imps and Lost Souls might miss me. I made it look easier than it is, but if you're not careful, you can get trapped in those tiny little hallways and you can have your day wrecked, and it's just not a fun time. So there's almost always an enemy in every single exit door I've noticed. That's Refinery, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll go ahead and move on to the next map. I'm not quite beating these maps in part-time. I could do better. Like I said, refined and polished playthroughs will come, but this is my first ever Nightmare run of episode 2. So I figured I'd record it and upload it and share it with you guys and I guess commentate on the gameplay and my thought process behind things. Kind of sucked that platform lowered there, but it's okay because I dodged all those bullets. And I thought I might get something useful up here, but I already had enough health and armor. You have to stand just to the left of that skull on the red pillar, by the way, to lower this down. But it ended up freaking me out because not only did I not need health or armor, but I ended up getting scared from that Cacodemon right there. Of course, I'm blocked by the Cacodemon's body down below. Run all the way around here because when you do that, it opens up this little area over here. And while I did take some damage, it ends up paying off because there is a Mega Spear back here, which will give me 100 health. And I didn't have enough plasma auto rifle ammo to take care of all the pinkies to get to all the goodies, so I ended up having to shotgun my way through. And as you can see, they attack quick, so you have to be quick. What's new? That's Nightmare for you. And this next part, I make a stupid move. So grabbing invisibility was good, but this move I do right here is stupid. I should have just gone straight, but instead I turn around and go into this room, which is not only non-essential, but very difficult to navigate around because there are gunners, a Cacodemon, and pinkies that can all trap you in this very limited space with a crushing ceiling. So I have no idea why I decided to go here. I guess it's a little more action for the viewer here, but yeah, I forgot that you have to actually flip a switch right here in order to lower the platform. So finally I escaped almost untouched. I say almost because I did take a little bit of damage, unsurprisingly. And of course I almost forget I have to grab the blue key, and so this room can be really intimidating if you're a new player, especially because this was the boss for the end of episode 1 and now he's a common enemy. I grabbed the blue key, and instead of being smart and turning around and going off that platform where the Baron of Hell is, I decided to go the long way around thinking, oh, if I avoid enemies I should be okay, but it's Nightmare, they're going to respawn anyway, so I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, you're just going to have to watch me make a lot of mistakes. But I guess it's proof that even if you make a bunch of mistakes, Nightmare mode is still possible for the common rabble like myself. Nothing good to say about these guys. I mentioned this in my 100% Ultraviolence playthrough, but this map has some of my favorite wall textures and music. Just look at all those enemies that respawn. It's just terrible. bunch of imps. We're going to go ahead and ignore them. The door didn't open. I freaked, but I made it through. Grabbed the yellow key. There's a shotgunner on each side. Just ignore them. Ignore the Barons of Hell. They're not worth your time. Just make sure you move around a lot, because if you stop moving, your health will start moving and not in the direction you want. There's a plasma auto rifle here, which will also teleport us to the top of this. In all honesty, I actually think that going down the elevator would have been more productive than going up there, because I don't think that going up there has any effect on the outside exit door, which is right here. On this part, you have to go down these blood thaws and hit the switch. Get on the platform, because if you're not quick enough, it'll rise up, and then you have to go all the way around and face all those enemies that we just saw. And there are 2 Barons of Hell and Cacodemons down in that area, so you gotta be real careful. For my first playthrough and not dying, I was pretty proud of myself for that run. This level took me 3 attempts, and the reason being, my first attempt, I died in... So I actually take the shortcut exit, and in the shortcut exit room there's a bunch of imps and pinkies and lost souls, and so it's a difficult time because of the way they're spaced. But I find it easier to go the secret exit because it makes this level a lot faster. And I like the secret level a lot. You'll see why. But yeah, there's a bunch of imps in here, and this time around I'm really careful because I've rushed into the room before and have regretted it instantly. So I try to take this in strides. And here are all the pinkies. Now the reason that it's difficult, and I don't want to leave them out here, I want to kill them in here, is because if I leave them out there, then when the imps respawn, I will be basically blockaded by a bunch of pink demons, and I don't want that. So I try to kill as many as I can so I can flip the switch in there, because that switch actually raises stairs to the exit. As you can see to my left, there are no stairs there, but once I flip that switch, there will be. I gotta be quick though, because the demons will start respawning inside this room. The switch is to the left right there. Now I can make my escape. Making sure there's not too many imps around me. I try to kill all the imps because I have tried rushing straight into that room, and then I get rushed from behind and imps teleport in with you, and then it's just not a good time, because not only are you getting attacked by lost souls, but imps and pinkies are also attacking you from behind. Now I pull out my plasma auto rifle for this. I don't know any other easier way to attack this from other than the plasma auto rifle, and all I did was hold backwards on my controller, and even then I still only had 20% health left in the end. But I figured it was better than being dead. So I go on to the next map. That's Command Center. Super easy if you take the secret exit. And also this map doesn't have any gunners, so it's not a map to where you have to get shot every 5 seconds. I beat this map on second attempt. I did die once, which is why you saw the cut. I died because I couldn't find the exit door and I got splashed by the green thing. This room freaks me out. But it's really fun. If you are moving and you kind of know where the fireballs are going to go, you're good. I missed the Megasphere. I missed it again. And on third attempt, I finally got it with 4% health left. I don't know if you saw that, but I only had 4% health. I thought I was dead for sure. But I got it in the nick of time. And then you have to open these doors and also move because the fireballs are still coming at you. And I figured that 65 health is still better than being dead once again. So that's the secret map right there. 33 seconds. I don't know why the par is 250. That's way too much time for such an easy and short map. But yeah, this map, ladies and gentlemen, this map is the one that took me forever. It took me over 20 tries, and the reason it was so few compared to the maps in level 1 is because this is a longer map. It takes more methodical thinking. Map 1 is partially luck, and also it's a quicker pace, but this map is just big and long hallways, and I would die towards the end of the map rather than towards the beginning, because as you can see, the beginning here is really easy. You got to get the blue key and rush the heck out of there, because there's no point sticking around for those enemies. And I actually attempt the maze first, because I used to go for the yellow key first, which you'll see me go for later, and I would save the red key for last. But when I did that, I would end up trapping myself in this maze, because all the enemies from the side I got the blue key on and the side with the yellow key would all pile up into the maze, and then I would be trapped with no way to escape. So I figured it was easier to go into the maze right away and get it taken care of. Fun fact, whenever you go towards the key in here, it'll actually release a room which will release a Baron of Hell. Pinkies and Spectres, especially in this dark area, are the most annoying enemy, because not only are they big, fat, and in your way, but they are very difficult to see and thus create a very invisible barrier, and it can really ruin your day. I hate Pinkies and Spectres with a passion in Doom 1. I know I've said it before, and I will say it again and again. And Lost Souls, of course. That goes without saying. There's just a massacre. I decided to peekaboo shoot until I had at least a path. I knew I wasn't going to be able to kill them all, but you have to be able to... Just look at all the enemies. Look at them. It's insane. Pinkies are good at absorbing bullets if you can use it right. I grabbed this invisibility because it actually does help in this situation when I'm not trying to constantly kill them. I got lucky. That Baron of Hell you saw to the left there, he's typically blocking the doorway. In fact, 9 out of 10 times he'll block that doorway, but every now and then if you can get a monster to infight with the Baron, you can get lucky and get out of there. Now, as you guys can see, I don't have a chain gun, which is why I haven't pulled the chain gun out. I'm switching between my rocket launcher and my shotgun. On my controller, I only have the option to switch between one weapon at a time instead of skipping weapons like on a keyboard. So I don't have the chain gun, otherwise you already know I would have been using it this whole time, because in episode 1, I stressed the importance of having a chain gun on Nightmare mode. But since I skipped the secrets in some of the previous levels, I didn't get the chain gun, so here I am with the shotgun and rocket launcher. This is the yellow key room. You just have to go to the room directly to the right of where you exited. I somehow killed the imps and the pinkies, so I just run the yellow key and get out of there. Don't worry about the visors, you don't need them. Now this part I died on a lot because I would end up getting hit by those lost souls sometimes. Other times, as you're going to see right now, I got trapped. But this was the first time I tried this method. I ended up pulling out this plasma auto rifle and just going to town on these guys, spraying through it. As you can see, the Baron of Hell's there. It is intense. And there's another Baron of Hell to my right behind me. So I used the plasma auto rifle to get through all these guys, and I still have 10 ammo left to spare somehow, and I get through with 100 health. I was amazing. Could not believe I finally beat this map. If you see speedruns of Nightmare or Ultraviolence on YouTube, most of the speedruns will have a glitch to where you walk through the wall and hit the switch without having to do anything I just did, but this is a glitchless speedrun. I wanted to see if I could beat Nightmare without any glitches. I wouldn't call them cheats because it's part of the game. It's not like you used any cheats or any hacks, but I wanted to see if I could beat it fair and square without any exploits. So that is that. I used to go up those stairs to get the bonuses, but I realized it wasn't worth it, and I also made a foolish decision and got myself trapped here. I'm just going to let you guys watch this. To my left now is a Cacodemon, and I'm terrified at this point. I don't know how I managed to escape. I was going to go for this health over here, but I realized they're being blocked, too many demons. I decided it's not worth it. I'll take my chances and go this way. Now there is health and armor in this room, and it's totally worth going there because I only have 30% of each. So a bunch of little medkits and a 200 armor bonus, which is well worth it. Of course I get nabbed from behind, so I have to grab this health to make it worth it. There we go. 70 health, not too shabby. This is actually the part where I finally get the chain gun. This level wasn't too hard. It took me 3 attempts. The first 2 I died in that area where I almost got trapped by the Pinkies and Cacodemon. I died twice there. But after that, I had no problem with this map whatsoever. Going down here is a lot easier than going all the way around because not only do you skip a major portion of enemies, but you also get to go straight into this area which has the red key. So you might as well just jump down that platform and take care of all those enemies. Ignore health bonuses in rooms because most of the rooms are filled with monsters and you'll end up taking more damage than you will gaining the health. Only get health if it's convenient, and the only health that you should go out of your way for is fat stacks of it or the health bonuses that let you get over 100. Otherwise, never go for a 10 stim pack in a room full of monsters. It's just not worth it. Navigating out of here is a little difficult, but if you stick left, you'll eventually make it out like you see me doing here. This is a trap switch, and I forgot about it, so I flipped the second one to release the bridge, and of course I'm trying to get out, and boom. I don't get hit. Somehow I escaped. The spawning vats is a very fun map on Nightmare. I definitely one of the more fun ones in my opinion, just because of how difficult it can be. And once I got to this final map, I knew it was over. I had this in the bag. All I had to do was kill Cyberdemon. The only thing that made me a little nervous was all of the lost souls everywhere on the map. Otherwise, I knew I had it. Of course, I grab all this health. So I basically beat 6 of the maps out of... Well, I guess I beat 7 out of 9 maps without the plasma auto rifle. Sorry, the chain gun. The plasma auto rifle was out. But yeah, I beat most of these maps without the chain gun. Felt pretty proud, but I will try to find the secret on one of these maps so I can have the chain gun earlier, because trying to beat these maps without the chain gun is so much harder than it needs to be. The secret of killing this Cyber Demon without getting hit by Lost Souls is to scoop back. Zoom in for a short time, and then scoot back as you're firing the rockets. That way, if the Lost Souls do charge at you, you're already scooting back, so you don't have to worry about it. I would circle strafe this guy, but he's too close to the wall and I don't trust it. Feels like he's never going to die, but right around 44 rockets, I finally finish him off. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen. That is episode 2 on the Nightmare difficulty. Like I said, I will release a more refined edition down the road. I will also release a version of this without my commentary for those that do not prefer me talking. But I hope you enjoyed this Nightmare run. I hope to see you in my next episode, episode 3. Until then.